Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ask Jeff Show. We're up to episode number 51. I have 3 brand new questions for you guys. So the first question, this person wants to know how they can introduce and sell supplements to their clients to generate a new source of revenue and to get it on auto ship. So how to sell supplements. So number one, you want to find a company that you believe in, that that pays a good commission. I like, at least 30% makes it really worth it. And you want to find a company that does auto ship as well. We used to use and recommend BioTrust, but I don't think they're accepting any more brick and mortar businesses as affiliates. I actually have a call later today with a new company trying to work out a deal for this, and if I do, I'll be announcing who that is and what we have going on with that, soon. So once you find a company that you believe in the product, it's a good product, 30% is a good commission, and they do have an auto ship. The next thing you want to do is you want to introduce it to your members. So you can start with an email, or you can do a 6-week transformation challenge where they're required to use a certain amount in order to be eligible to win. You just want to get it out there, get some people using it. 3, you want to create a system, to sell it consistently. So what we do is when they come in for their initial nutrition consultation, we go over what they should eat, what they shouldn't eat. We give them a list of foods they should eat, a list of foods they shouldn't eat, and then we tell them to start, journaling their food journal. And that way, if they have a bad week where they didn't lose any weight or whatever, they can come back in for a follow-up consultation. But in order to come in for that free follow-up consultation, they have to have at least 3 to 4 days worth of meals journaled in their journal, preferably with 1 day being on the weekend, because everybody eats differently on the weekend. When they come in for that consultation, it's free, but we go over their diet line by line, and we pick out things that they should and shouldn't be eating, what's missing, and then we supplement that with a supplement. So most of the time, most people need more protein, especially post-workout, to help with the recovery. So we always recommend a protein, shake. And when I say recommend, we pretty much, technically we're not allowed to prescribe, but I don't usually leave it as a question. It's you need to take, such and such protein, and whatever the company is, that there's a reason why you like them, or what the selling point, or why you recommend using this company over somebody else. You should always have a strong, reason why you are using this company instead of the local GNC brand or whatever. You can say that they have fillers in it or whatever, and this is more clean and healthy for you, or it's partially digested, so when you take it after a workout, it gets into your muscles right away, and rather than an hour or 2 hours later, or whatever it is. But almost everybody needs a protein. Needs more protein. Almost everybody is deficient in their essential fatty acids, so I recommend some kind of krill oil. If they're doing a keto diet, they're probably deficient in omega-3, so I'd just do omega-3 specifically, and then a greens drink, because most people don't like taking vitamins. So and most people aren't eating enough greens. So we always recommend a greens drink. So from here, you're gonna do the follow-up nutrition consults, and then we always recommend a protein, some kind of fish oil, and then a greens. And almost 90% of everyone's diet is going to be deficient in these 3 things. If you can sell these 3 things and you're getting a 30% return, it's going to give you an extra probably $30 to $50 a month per client. So you can see if you have 150, 200 members and you get half of them, just doing these 3, it's going to give you another really good source of income. And this is a steady way to continually sell this without having to, really, hammer your email list with a bunch of offers about supplements and whatnot. You're offering the free nutrition consultation, the follow-up. The only thing you're asking for them to do is to fill out their food journal for 3 to 4 days in a row before they come in, so that way you can go over their diet exactly, and then pick their diet apart, show them where they're deficient in protein and essential fatty acids, and a greens drink. Sell those 3, and you're going to make $30 to $50 more per client. And then what we used to do, and we still do, we just modify it a little bit. We have a sheet that they fill out, and it gives you permission to order the supplements on their behalf. They create an account and order it on their behalf, and they give you their credit card information. What we used to do was auto ship it to their house. That was good, except for that we never knew when they canceled. If they weren't taking them and it started backing up, they'd had a couple of things of protein, a couple of things of greens drinks laying around. They go in there and they cancel it, and we would never know. And then like 3 or 4 months later, they're asking for another nutrition consultation because they're not getting results. And then we're like, how's their diet? Oh, you're not doing the protein anymore? No, I stopped like 3 months ago or whatever, and you didn't know. So what we changed is we kept the billing address as their address, and the shipping address we made it our gym. So that way they would get a package into our gym. So after the workout, we could be like, hey, so-and-so, your package is here, and hand it to them in front of everybody else. And of course, everybody else is curious. Hey, what'd you get? What'd you get? Oh, I got my supplements. I got my protein, my greens drink, my fish oil. Like, oh, how do I get that? How's that working for you? Oh, it's great. And then it helps, sell it to your other members that didn't come in for the nutrition consultation. And then the best thing about that is that you have a list of all the active clients that are taking the supplements, and if their package doesn't come in that month, you can check it against the list. Then you can ask them like, hey, where is it? Are you still taking the supplements? How are your results coming along? Why did you stop taking them, or whatever the problem is. And you'll get them taking, instead of average of 2 to 3 months, you'll have them taking it for an average of 5 to 6 months by doing it that way. So our second question is, this person wants to start, I think I spelled that wrong. Oh well. So this person wants to start paid advertising, and they want to know like what's a good amount to start with. So the first thing I ask people when they want to get into paid advertising is, how much are you willing to pay to learn how to do paid advertising? And even if they're working with an agency, which I suggest that you do, or working with a freelancer or outsourcer, I don't think it's something that you should be doing in your business. You should be focused on the things that only you can do, which is working with your clients, networking in your area, stuff like that. So even if you're working with an outside company, you still have to, your ad budget should still only be the amount that you're willing to pay to learn what works in your area, because you're actually teaming up with the agency and working with them to figure it out. Not all the strategies or tactics that they have are going to work right off the bat sometimes. Sometimes I have to kind of figure out your area. So I always ask, like, how much are you willing to spend to learn paid advertising? So how much are you willing to invest? And say that number is like $300, which I would suggest as a minimum. So in business, you either have time or you have money. If you don't have $300 to pay to learn how to do paid advertising, you should probably, there's a lot of other ways that you can generate leads with your time by doing a lot of the offline strategies that I teach, until you get to the point where you can afford to invest $300 to learn. If this is going to stress you out, if you have to make that back in order to pay your rent or your lease, then you probably shouldn't be doing paid advertising. You should be spending your time to get your revenue up to a point where you can afford to invest in learning what works in your area for paid advertising. But $300, I would say, is a minimum. And what we found is, for a daily budget, a good starting point, is anywhere from $25 to $50 is like the sweet spot for the daily budget. So starting at $25 with a $300 a month ad budget, it's going to last 12 days. So you're going to get enough information in that 12 days to know whether or not for sure if it's working. And if it's not, and you have 2 weeks left in the month, what you can do in those 2 weeks is produce a lot more content while you're coming up with a new strategy, getting a new lead ad or new funnel created, or whatever the next step is to try to make it better the next month. But you didn't waste that $300. If you didn't get any leads or it didn't work at all, you're at least going to know you're paying for the data, and you know what's not going to work. So then the next month you try something else, same thing, $25 budget, you can scale it up to $50. That's what we found to be the sweet spot for local businesses with audiences around 15 to 20,000 people. And again, during that 2 weeks, there are 12 days where you're testing it out. Now, if you make $150, then you're just going to add that 150 to keep it going. So that's going to give you, another 3 days. And then during that 3 days, if you make another $100, you're going to add that on, and that's going to give you another 4 days or whatever. And then you're going to keep scaling up until you break it, until you get, diminishing returns. And that's how, I would suggest getting started. And how much is starting with that minimum of 300, but don't do $10 a day for 30 days, because it's going to take you a whole month to figure out if it's working or not. And then you don't have any time to adjust and analyze the data and then regroup, come up with a new strategy. You're better off getting the information faster, so you have more time to plan what your next approach is going to be, the following month. But that's basically it. Just start with not what you're willing to lose, but what you're willing to pay to learn how to do paid marketing, what you're willing to pay to get the data on what works and what doesn't in your area. And then the last question that we've been getting a lot, especially lately, since Facebook, paused Messenger bots for Messenger advertising and stuff, is how to leverage ManyChat or Facebook Messenger bots. But the good news is that the bots are back, so I will talk about it again. So if you messaged me in the last few weeks asking about ManyChat, and I kind of told you not to worry about it right now because it is inactive and they're not letting you, sign up any new Messenger bots, this is for you. So the first thing you want to do is get ManyChat. It's still a recommended app that we use that's going to allow you to create, your Messenger list. It's kind of like your email list, but it's for Facebook Messenger. The cool thing about that is that it's actually cheaper than an email opt-in, and we're still getting over 90% opens and still 30%, 33% click-through rates. So we're getting a lot more for our money using Messenger and investing in building that Messenger list. So you want to get ManyChat, and you want to get the pro version or the paid version. It's $10. There's no reason not to. If you don't, it's going to have like a powered by ManyChat, ManyChat bot. It's going to let them know that it's a bot right off the bat. It's not going to convert as well. It's $10. So make sure that you get the paid version. And the best way to really get started is, on all your content, you're just going to have you're going to add the send message button. Because all you have to do to get them on your ManyChat list is have them reach out to you and send you a message. The whole idea with the Messenger bot is to open up a dialogue, open up a conversation for real human-to-human conversation. You don't want to cold call them or cold message them. So what you're doing is you're putting out content. It says send message. They have a question about the content. They send you a message. You answer it. You go back and forth. You invite them in for a workout, and you get a client that way. That's the best way to get started. It's super simple. You just add a send message button. Some other things that you can do is in your email. In the PS, you're just going to put, if you have any questions, feel free to send us a message over on Facebook. We're more than happy to chat with you about it. Have a link to your Messenger. Inside of ManyChat, there's a link at the top. It's like fb. something. It's at the top of your account in ManyChat. Just copy that link, put it in the PS, and just let them know, hey, if you have any questions about anything, send me a message over on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to chat with you about it. And then the other thing that you can do is on your website, you can add an exit pop that just says, still have questions, send us a message over at Facebook. We'd love to chat with you about it. That way they send you a message through your email, they send you a message through your website, they hit the send message button, send you a message through your content, you're going to get them on your list. There's a lot of other strategies that get a little bit more advanced, a little more complicated, using keywords and different sequences and stuff like that. And we can get more into that later. But if you're just getting started with Messenger bots, this is the simplest way to start building your list. And all this stuff is free. The content just takes up your time. You're already sending out emails and you already have a website. So follow these 3 to get started. Once you got this mastered, then we can talk about some more advanced tactics and strategies for ManyChat or Facebook Messenger. That's all I got this week, guys. I'll talk to you soon.